Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. This is Rekha Venkateshwarlu, Assistant Professor of Physics, Government Degree College for Women, Nalgonda. Today, I am going to present the lecture, Electric Potential Applications to Spherical Charge Distribution. This is BSc Physics 5th semester Electromagnetism syllabus under the Unit 1. The plan of my talk is Introduction. Then after, we will discuss the electric potential applications to spherical charge distribution. There we will see the two cases. The first one is uniformly charged conducting sphere or spherical shell. Then after, uniformly charged non-conducting sphere. Lastly, we will see the conclusion. Yes. In the present lecture, we will discuss about the topic electric potential application to spherical charge distribution. Spherical charge distribution. Right. So before that, let us recapitulate what is electric potential. Electric potential is nothing but suppose it is the electric field of a point charge plus q. Then the work done in taking a unit positive charge from infinity to a point in the electric field is called potential at that point. That equals to work done by the test charge Q naught. It is a scalar quantity. Its SI unit is joule per coulomb or volt. So in the last class, we covered the discussion of electric potential application to linear charge distribution and a plane charge distribution. So in this present lecture, we will discuss the potential application for spherical charge distribution. Okay, here we have the two cases. The first one is uniformly charged conducting sphere. Conducting sphere or spherical shell. Spherical shell. Okay, so for that, you consider this figure. This is the uniform charge conducting sphere of radius capital R. Now, when it is charged, you should remember that for a conductor, the charge resides on its surface only. There is no charge inside the sphere, right? Now, we have to calculate the potential at the point P, which is outside of the sphere, R greater than R. Okay, to calculate the electric potential at this point, this sphere is the sphere is assumed to be cut into number of rings with the centers on OP. This is the center. Now I am taking this is considered as a ring A, B, C, D. The total sphere is divided into number of rings. So here you consider a small ring A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D, right? So here OC is equal to what? OC equal to OA, that equal to radius of the sphere. Okay. Angle COE. Angle COE is equal to theta in the figure. Angle AOC. Angle AOC equal to d theta. AOC equal to d theta. Okay. Now, in this figure, triangle COE. In triangle COE, consider sine theta. Sine theta equal opposite side CE by OC hypotenuse. From the CE is equal OC into sine theta. CE equal OC what? Radius of the sphere R sine theta. Right. Now, for the arc AC, for a arc AC here, this one. So the length of the arc AC is equals to radius into angle subtended by the arc at the center. So this is d theta here. Angle A was equal to, we have taken d theta. Hence AC length will be r into d theta. Okay. And also, so in the figure, x be the distance from point C to P. The distance of the point P from the center of the sphere is r. Okay. So here OP is equals to r and CP is equal to x. CP equal to x. Okay. So here, what is the circumference of this ring? Let us write circumference of the ring. Circumference of the ring ABCD equals to 2 pi into radius of the ring. How much? What we get? R sine theta. 2 pi into R sine theta. Okay. Then area of the ring. Area of the ring. Okay. Area of the ring is equals to 2 pi R sine theta into R d theta. R d theta. Okay. R d theta. Then charge on the ring. Charge on the ring is given by equal area of the ring into surface charge density. Surface charge density. That equals to, what is area of the ring? 2 pi r square sine theta d theta. You write that 2 pi r square sine theta d theta into surface charge density sigma. But we have surface charge density sigma equal the total charge on the sphere q by surface area of the sphere 4 pi r square. Why? Because for a conducting sphere, the total charge q distributes only on the surface only. So the spherical surface area 4 pi r square. Hence charge per unit area sigma equal to q by 4 pi r square. Substituting this value in the above expression, then we get charge on the ring. Charge on the ring dq is equal to 2 pi r square sine theta d theta into q by 4 pi r square. Okay. So that equals to pi cancel, to 1 ja, to 2 ja, r square cancel. What left? Q sine theta d theta. Q sine theta d theta by 2. The charge on the ring, ABCD ring, dq is equal to q sine theta d theta by 2. This is, say, equation 1. Now, so since charge on the ring dq is equals to, we got q sine theta d theta by 2. Therefore, potential at P due to charge on the ring, dV is equals to how we write from 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r formula. You can write dq by x. Due to the point charge q at the distance r, the potential V equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq by r. So using that formula, we are writing the potential due to the charge dq on the ring dV equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq by x. This is equation 2, you see. So substituting the dq value in the equation 2, then we can write dV is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq q sine theta d theta by 2 dx. That gives what? Q sine theta d theta by 8 pi epsilon naught x. 8 pi epsilon naught x. Say this is equation 3. Okay. Now from the figure, it is very clear that x square is equal capital R square plus small r square minus 2r cos theta. Okay. So differentiating this equation both sides, we get 2x dx is equal, since capital R small r constant, 0 minus 2 r cos theta differentiation minus sin theta d theta. So to cancel, x dx is equals to what is that, r sin theta d theta. From that you write sin theta d theta as a subject, because we require this value in the equation 3. Sin theta d theta equal to x dx by capital R small r. Okay. So say this is equation 4. From equation 3 and 4, you can write dv is equal qx dx by 8 pi epsilon naught capital R small r x. That gives what? Xx cancel, equal to q dx by 8 pi epsilon naught capital R small r. Equation 5. So this is the potential due to what? This is the potential due to small ring. But we have to calculate the potential due to the total sphere. Okay. So for that, the total potential V is equal to, by integrating this expression in between the limits r minus r to r plus r, that equals to integral r minus r to r plus r dv q dx by 8 pi epsilon naught capital R. That equals to, write constant outside of the integral, 8 pi epsilon naught capital R small r. Integral of dx is x, applying the limits r minus r, here upper limit r plus r. That equals to q by 8 pi epsilon naught capital R small r into small r plus capital R minus r minus of minus plus r. That equals to q by 8 pi epsilon naught capital R small r into capital R plus capital R 2r. So RR cancel, 2 1 ja, 2 4 ja. So what we got, V is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by R. This is the expression for electric potential due to a conducting sphere outside of the sphere. Okay. So the potential due to the conducting sphere outside, V outside equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. So from this it is very clear that V inversely proportional to r. Okay. Now the second case, when the point P lies on the surface of the sphere, lies on the surface of given spherical conductor, then small r equal to capital R. So simply you can write the potential on the surface of uniformly charged conductor 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by capital R. Okay. Now suppose when we consider the point P inside the cell, when P lies inside the conductor or spherical shell, then what happens? Okay. Now in the previous discussion, so what we got, dv is equal to q dx by 8 pi epsilon naught capital R small r. So here the limits will change. The limits x is equal r minus r and x is equal to r plus r. Okay, how you can understand? So this is the conducting sphere of radius r. Now we consider a small ring ABCD. Okay, ABCD. Now if the point P is considered here, then the limits will be This is R. This is R. Then X is equal to R minus R. R minus from this point to this point, capital R. Capital R minus R to this point, R plus R. In between, we have to integrate. Right? So simply, we are changing the limits. Then V is given by integral R minus R to R plus R Q dx by 8 pi epsilon naught capital R small r. Okay, that equals to Q by 8 pi epsilon naught capital R small r into integral of dx x, and applying the limits R minus R, upper limit is R plus R. That equals to Q by 8 pi epsilon naught capital R small r plus R minus of this. So what we get? 2 small r. Okay, R cancel, 2 1 ja, 2 4 ja. That gives 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by capital R. So let me repeat here. To find the potential inside point, so which is at the distance R from the center, there simply we're changing the limits. X is equal R minus R2, X is equal R plus R. X is equal capital R minus small r2. Capital R minus small r will be this limit. Capital R plus small r will be this limit. In between these two limits, we are integrating. So that is finally we got 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. Okay. So with this, we can show this graphically like this by taking the distance on x-axis, the potential on y-axis. Okay. So this is a charge, uniformly charged conducting sphere of radius r. Here the charge is distributing on its surface, spherical surface. Okay. At the center, so at the center potential, how much? At the center potential, say 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by capital R. In between any point, the potential is the same, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. From center to the surface, potential remains constant. So outside the point, after the outside of the spherical surface, here the potential is decreasing. Accordingly, V equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q by R. Here V inversely proportional to R. Okay, this value V maximum or V surface equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. So here inside the uniformly charged conductor, at every point potential is the same. That value equal to the potential on the surface. So potential at the center, potential at any point inside the sphere, potential on the surface is the same. Since potential is constant inside the sphere, this volume is called equipotential volume, and the surface is called equipotential surface. Okay. So this graph explains how the potential varies with the distance inside the sphere and outside the sphere. Okay. Now, so here, what is the conclusion in the case of uniformly charged conducting sphere? Electric field strength outside of the sphere, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. This is we have seen in the previous lectures. Then regarding potential, V out equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. Okay. The field strength on the surface of the sphere, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by, where small r is replaced by capital R, R square. The surface potential on the surface is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by capital R. Field strength inside the sphere at any point equals to 0 because there is no charge inside the conducting sphere. But here, the potential inside the conducting sphere at any point is the same. That value equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. Field strength at the center equals to 0. So here, the potential at the center of the conducting sphere, that is also equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. Right? So these are the very, very important points in entrance point of view also. You should remember this. The second concept we are going to discuss is uniformly charged. The next content we are going to discuss is uniformly charged non-conducting sphere. Non-conducting sphere. Uniformly charged non-conducting sphere. Yes. So here you should remember that in the case of uniformly charged spherical conductor, there the charge distributed only on the surface. But in this case, the charge can be distributed throughout the volume inside the sphere. So for that, you consider this diagram. This is a non-conducting sphere of radius capital R. Okay, the center O with the charge density rho equal to charge per unit volume Q by 4 by 3 pi R cube. Okay, here the charge is distributed throughout the volume of the sphere. Hence, the charge shown inside the sphere. Now I am considering the 3 points. P1 outside point, the P2 is on the surface, point P3 is inside the sphere. Right. The distance of point P1 say R from the center. Let R1 be the distance of point P3 inside. OP2 equal to capital R. So that is I am writing here. OP1 is equal to R. OP2 is equal to capital R. OP3 equals to R1. Okay. Now, as our previous lectures discussion, how we calculate the field strength at this point? To calculate the field strength at the outside point, there we constructed the Gaussian surface on which the point P1 lies. So this Gaussian surface is passing through this point. Here, you consider a small area element, ds element. The direction of field strength is always radially outwards. This is the field strength direction E bar. Here, the normal to this area element ds bar direction also parallel to E bar. Okay, it is very clear that at point P1, E bar parallel to ds bar. So then E bar dot ds bar is equal to EDS. That represents what? The flux through that area element. EDS cos 0 equal to EDS. But we have to calculate the flux through this total Gaussian surface. According to Gauss law, or by applying the Gauss law, surface integral E bar dot ds bar is equals to Q by Q enclosed, charge enclosed by that surface by epsilon naught. This is surface integral EDS is equal charge enclosed Q by epsilon naught. Charge enclosed by this Gaussian surface, how much? That is the charge of this non-conducting sphere that we have taken Q. Okay. Now, from this, you write E outside, closed integral ds equal to Q by epsilon naught E into what is the total surface area? This is the surface area of this Gaussian surface. That would be 4 pi r square. 4 pi r square because OP1 equal to R equal to Q by epsilon naught. Therefore, E outside is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. This is the electric field strength outside of the non-conducting sphere. Right, E inversely proportional to R square here. So using this expression, simply we can calculate the potential at that point. Okay, how the field strength relates with the potential? E is equal to minus dV by dr. Okay, from this dV is equal minus integral of E bar dot dr. E bar dot dr. So integrating both sides, integral infinity to R dV is equal minus integral infinity to R E bar dot dr bar. But here E bar dr bar in the same direction. this will be EdR. Integral of dV, V, applying the limits V of R minus V of infinity equal to minus integral infinity to R EdR. But E we have 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square dr. But we consider that the potential at infinity point is 0. So this is 0. Then VR is equal minus, here constant I am writing outside, Q by 4 pi epsilon naught integral of dr by R square limits infinity to R. That equals to what? Minus Q by 4 pi epsilon naught. This is minus 1 by R. Applying the limits infinity to R. So we got Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R. Therefore, the potential outside of the spherical, outside of the non-conducting sphere, we have 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. Here V inversely proportional to R. Right. So now, the next, next we will discuss the potential a point lies on the surface. So when a point P2 lies on the surface, then R is equal to R, simply we can substitute. So therefore the potential at that point is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by capital R. This is electric potential on the surface of non-conducting sphere. Now the third application is for a point existing inside the sphere. So when a point P1 lies P1 or P3, that would be P3. P3 lies inside the sphere, inside the non-conducting sphere. How to calculate the potential? So this is the third case. So for that, in the previous figure, we constructed a Gaussian surface. So again, I am drawing. O is the center. Here, this is the outside point. This is the point P2 is on the surface. P3 is inside the surface. To calculate the electrostatic field strength or potential, you construct the Gaussian surface like this. Here, P3 is on this Gaussian surface. OP3 equal to say R1. Right. Now, first I am writing the electric field strength at this point. So how to calculate the field strength? This one, yes. Here you consider a small area element ds bar. Here E bar direction is radially outwards. So then ds bar direction also same. Here E bar parallel to ds bar. Therefore, E bar dot ds bar equal to EDS cos 0. Then flux through this Gaussian surface. The total flux will come out through this Gaussian surface. Surface integral E bar dot ds bar equal surface integral EDS. But according to Gauss law, that should be equals to charge enclosed by that surface by epsilon naught. So now field strength at every point on the surface is constant due to the symmetry. E into closed integral ds is equal the charge enclosed by this one. How to write it is the volume charge density rho into volume of that sphere 4 by 3 pi r1 cube by epsilon naught. That is E, the closed integral of ds. That is the total surface area of the sphere 4 pi r1 square equal to rho by epsilon naught into 4 by 3 pi r1 cube. 4 cancel, pi cancel, r1 square cancel. Then we got E is equal rho r1 by 3 epsilon naught. This is the field strength inside of the non-conducting sphere, uniformly charged non-conducting sphere. If you want to express this in vector form, E bar equal rho r1 bar by 3 epsilon naught. If you want to express this value in another, in the charge terms, you can write U inside is equal rho R1 by 3 epsilon naught, that equals to R1 by 3 epsilon naught, but we have the volume charge is equal to the total charge by volume of the non-conducting sphere 4 by 3 pi r cube. You can substitute here. That is Q by 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay. 3 cancel, right? So that gives what? The field strength, electric field strength inside of the non-conducting sphere is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q R1 by capital R cube. If you observe this formula, it is very clear that capital R constant, Q constant, epsilon, all these are constant. Here, E inside is directly proportional to R1. Okay. So at the center, R1 equals to 0. When we consider the point P at the center, R1 equals to 0, then E equals to 0. So therefore, the field strength at the center of uniformly charged non-conducting sphere equals to 0. As we move from the center to the surface, field strength is linearly increasing according to this relation, E directly proportional to R1. So at the surface, we have the field strength 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by capital R square. So as we move further outside of the sphere, again the field strength decreases, E inversely proportional to R square. So now, using this expression, we can calculate the potential inside of the non-conducting sphere. We have the relation between field strength and potential what? E equal minus dV by dr. Again, I am taking that. dV is equal minus E bar dot dr bar. Okay. Integral of dV between the limits the surface to inside point. At the surface potential, I am writing Vs. So whatever the point we consider inside the sphere, so at that point the potential V inside. So between these two limits, I am taking the potential difference equal to minus integral. So for Vs, here the corresponding limit is capital R because on the surface point. So this would be R1 E bar dot dr bar. But E bar dot dr bar equal to EdR minus capital R to R1 EdR because E bar dr bar in the same direction. So left side what we get, integral of dV V applying the limits, V inside minus potential on the surface is equal, right side minus integral capital R to R1, but the field strength inside we got 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q R by R cube dr. Okay. So now V inside minus V surface is equal minus write the constant outside Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R cube integral capital R to R1. This is R dr. V inside minus V surface is equal minus Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R cube. So integration R square. Again, writing the limits, lower limit R, upper limit small r1. V inside minus the potential on the surface what? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by capital R, that equal minus Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R cube. So applying the limits, this is R square by 2, sorry, R square by 2. R1 square by 2 minus capital R square by 2. Capital R square by 2. That gives the potential inside point is equal. So bring this term right side. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R minus Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R cube into R1 square by 2. R1 square by 2. Minus into minus gets plus. This is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. R square cancel. So we'll have 2 by Q by 2R. 2R. So from the first and the third term, we can write V inside equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r is taking common, 1 plus of 3 by 2 minus r1 square by 2 capital R square. So this is the expression for electrostatic potential existing at any inside point of the uniformly charged non-conducting sphere of radius capital R with the volume charge density rho and having the charge q. So in this expression, if we consider the point at the center of the sphere, R1 equals to 0. Put R1 equals to 0. Then the potential at the center is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r into 3 by 2. So this will be 0. Second term will become 0. That equal to 3 by 2. But this is equal to the potential on the surface. Okay. Now the potential at the center to the potential on the surface ratio 3:2. This is the entrance oriented bit. Right. Okay. So what is the conclusion in the case of uniformly charged non-conducting sphere? Now we got electric field strength for a outside point 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. Okay. So here the corresponding potential V outside equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. Right. The field strength on the surface is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by capital R square. Here corresponding the potential at that point V surface equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by capital R. Electric field strength inside of the sphere E inside equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q r1 by rq or rho r1 by 3 epsilon naught. Here the potential we got the formula V inside equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r capital R into 3 by 2 minus r1 square by 2 capital R square. So field strength at the center of the sphere equals to 0. Here the potential at that point is equal to, we got 3 by 2 times to the potential on the surface. So with this graphically we can analyze that. Here the graph field strength versus distance. So this is the non-conducting sphere of radius capital R. Here you remember that the charge is distributed throughout the volume. At the center, the field strength is 0. As we move from center to the surface, E increases linearly up to the surface. So E becomes maximum at the surface. Here R equal to capital R. For outside point, E again decreasing according to the relation E inversely proportional to R square. Here E maximum, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by R square. Here E proportional to R1 in this region. From center to the surface, E increases linearly. So what is the maximum value possible at the surface? So how much its value? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by capital R square. So for outside point, how the field strength is changing? It is decreasing with the distance according to the relation E inversely proportional to R square, square of the distance. The corresponding graph for potential is like this. You take the distance on x-axis, potential on y-axis. Okay, this is radius. Now, the potential inside the point is maximum. As we move from center to the surface, E is decreasing up to the surface. Okay, this is the point for R equal to capital R. So beyond that, again, V is decreasing since V inversely proportional to R. So at the surface, what is the potential at this point? Vs is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by capital R. So at this center, what is the value? It is 3 by 2 times to the potential of existing on the surface. So the potential graph is like this. From center to the surface, V is decreasing. So from the center, again, as we move outside, that is decreasing, since V is inversely proportional to the distance of that point from the center. Okay. So in the present discussion, what we covered, first we discussed about uniformly charged conducting sphere. So in that case, we have seen three cases. We consider the point outside of the sphere, on the surface, inside the sphere. So outside the sphere, V decreasing inversely proportional to distance of the point. So we got the formula V called 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by small r. On the surface, the potential, we got V equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by capital R. So in the case of a point existing inside the sphere, there V value is constant at every point. That value equal to the potential whatever existing on the surface. Hence, the volume of the non-conducting sphere, the volume of conducting sphere, the volume of conducting sphere is equipotential volume. So the surface of the conducting sphere is equipotential surface. It is very clear from the graph, you can understand. From center to the surface, either left side and right side, the potential is the same. Hence, we got the straight line parallel to x-axis. Outside the surface, left side, right side, V is decreasing in such a way that V inversely proportional to R. Okay. After that, we have discussed about uniformly charged non-conducting sphere. Here also we have seen three cases. We consider the point outside of the sphere, inside the sphere, and the surface. So that the expressions we got, the field strength outside 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by small r square. At that point, the potential V out is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r. So for the point on the surface, simply small r equal to capital R, you substitute 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by capital R square is the field strength. And the potential V surface is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by capital R. Okay. So then V electric field strength inside the non-conducting sphere, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q small r by capital R cube. Corresponding potential 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by capital R into in bracket 3 by 2 minus small r square by 2r square. Here you can observe one point is, for a conducting sphere, E inside equals to 0. For non-conducting sphere, field strength not equals to 0. For the conducting sphere, potential at every point is the same. For non-conducting sphere, the potential at the center or at any point inside the sphere not equals to 0. So that value is maximum at the center, and as we are moving from the center to the surface, the potential is decreasing, and beyond the surface again, the further the potential is decreasing. V according to V inversely proportional to R. So these are the discussions we covered in this present lecture. Thank you. The graphs are shown like this. Thank you.